Hi there, and welcome to Celeb Hut. You all assume this is valid. Hollywood has ended up being a wiped-out and miserable spot. The talk factory is humming for certain wild cases about how Ellen DeGeneres possibly set up her dear companions, which claims were recommended all rotated around a film of Ellen purportedly going to Diddy's scandalous get-togethers. Currently, we're not discussing simply the easygoing appearances, who allegedly had an unparalleled view at these gatherings. The plot even thickens more when you consider what else could have been happening away from plain view, assuming Ellen was scouring elbows at these occasions. There's even discussion about an alleged undertaking among Diddy and Jerk stoking the fire. It's difficult to disregard this example. That is, by all accounts arising here. For what reason do such countless people and Diddy's in circle meet comparable closures with Jerk's unexpected passing? There's a ton of hypotheses that he might have had information about Ellen and Diddy's exercises, prompting his sad destiny. You all know there's an insanely shivered Hollywood web that should be unwound, so how about we separate this? They checked around Jerk and Allison's home, searching for any signs that the emergency call from the inn had come in only soon after Allison had reached the police. Ellen DeGeneres is the furthest down the line individual to be attached to Diddy's wreck, and it appears as though her case may be the nastiest and generally harming one, yet Diddy and Ellen have had an involved acquaintance that track back numerous years. Yet it goes past kinship alone in light of the fact that new reports are that she has supposedly been a regular face at Diddy's gatherings, including his supposed oddities. If you all have been focusing, and you have most likely seen that Ellen once made an oversight when she was conversing with Diddy on her show, and she conceded that she had been available at a portion of Diddy's freakiest and shadiest gatherings. You know, the kind of gatherings that you unquestionably don't believe the police should be aware of, and the ones that the roads have been murmuring on. So educate me regarding your birthday celebration. Am I welcome? Yes, you're most certainly welcomed. I welcome you to every one of my gatherings. You haven't appeared to make an appearance to. No, well, there is it on the East Coast. Yes. Well, that is the reason. How about you have one here? On the West Coast, 'cause I work constantly. Okay, well, perhaps I have one at your home. Where's and now what time would your party start? Suppose like 9:30, actually that early? Definitely I could make that. Well, Ellen played it off with a giggle, and despite the fact that we didn't know much at the time, we know now that there was something else to their fellowship, substantially more to it than met the eye, and in the event that there wasn't dubious enough, there's the way that Ellen had been acting sus over Diddy being captured. There's this viral paparazzi film that has been getting out and about via virtual entertainment, and you all, when I let you know that Ellen was moving odd as F, the paparazzi surprised Ellen, and they went in. They barbecued her about those bits of gossip twirling. G around Diddy, and let me let you know she looked shook. Individuals were scratching their heads, asking why Ellen went into alarm mode. At the first notice of Diddy's name, the journalist played it hard. He straight up inquired as to whether she was surprised by the claims against Diddy and that the federal authorities had struck him, and Ellen went into alarm mode. Ellen, were you surprised by the claims about P. Diddy that surprised you about P. Diddy? He's been on your show ordinarily a decent night. Have you been to his gatherings yet? As per reports, Ellen was a steady face at Diddy's gatherings, not the ones that anyone would own up to. In the event that you get my meaning, in a meeting, Diddy poked fun at a mystery part that occurred at night, and Ellen quickly jumped onto the joke. Think about you, beginning a party at like 12 p.m., What time will it go till that is an alternate kind of party? However, no, it'll go from like 9:30 to perhaps 3:00 or 3:00, and afterward you realize we have the main two stories of the lodging, and afterward it will carry on. I am familiar with them. I'll pay attention to the music. I've heard that tune. After party. Now assuming there was one thing you all ought to realize about fans, is that there is a ton of wannabe FBI specialists around here, including me, and fans have been doing a ton of profound diving into Diddy and Ellen's fellowship, and listen when I tell you all that they are recovering some genuinely succulent stuff. Let me let you know the tea is channeling. Yet one thing that they recovered here was the There were a ton of similitudes among Diddy and Ellen, like how they were demonstrated to not be the very extraordinary and credible individuals they profess to be in open. I mean, sure, Ellen isn't having to deal with any government penalties like Diddy, yet she was blamed. And furthermore, marked as one for the meanest ladies in Hollywood, Mike did. Ellen had an extensive rundown of allegations against her, like being spiteful to her better half and her collaborators on The Ellen Show. She has additionally been hit with certain harming charges throughout the years, from reports of abusing her staff to murmurs regarding her controlling ways of behaving towards Portia. It's been insane. Everything began with certain obscure reports going viral about how she was horrible to individuals that worked for her on The Ellen Show, and previous staff individuals who were quite glad to oppose her and uncover her, and all the things that they needed to say didn't agree with this bright daylight appearance that she jumped at the chance to claim to have when the cameras were moving. Great things went left in 2016 when Kathy Griffin spilled some significant tea about Ellen in her diary. However, she didn't name-drop Ellen. The hints were basically as unmistakable as short, light hair and a standing for being great, not exactly wonderful. It didn't take a genius to draw an obvious conclusion. Their quarrel follows, as far as possible, back to 2007, when Ellen tossed some shade at Kathy in her speech, leaving an unpleasant desire for Kathy's mouth as individual comics. Kathy expected some fortitude, not snideness, when talking about her experience. Kathy said, "I'm clearly not her favorite thing in the world, but rather, I believe she's extraordinary. I am not a satire braggart, I'm obscene. Yet I believe perfect, there's sing humorists, prop humorists, effective joke artists, and observational joke artists. I'm blissful at whatever point a female, particularly a female more than 50, is still in the game." In one more meeting, she said, "I had referenced on your show that I wish that ladies would uphold each other, more specifically, really compelling ladies. I communicated that to her, and she was, as I must have anyone on my show I could do without." Well, after Kathy approached, it was like individuals couldn't quit discussing Ellen and what she is truly similar to. In the background, individuals began to kicked the bucket, her previous meetings where she put on a show of being truly mean. Back in 2008, Ellen had Mariah Carey on her show, yet things before long went left, and Ellen, being Ellen, begun diving into a few delicious reports about Mariah being pregnant, yet rather than a cordial visit between celebs, it was like Ellen was examining Mariah, and afterward the other thing is that individuals are saying that you're pregnant. There's reports don't examine that. It deteriorated when Ellen gave a glass of champagne, driving Mariah to declare her pregnancy, despite the fact that she was attempting to keep it hidden. We should toast with champagne and conclude they've been expressing that. Since I can have some champagnes, it's swelling. So you can have champagne that is not champagne, because you can't. No, it is. It actually definitely, you need to taste it. I can't really accept that you did this to me. Ellen, what are you attempting? I won't inquire as to whether you're pregnant. Strain, you see what Ellen is doing? This is peer pressure. No, we should toast to your not being pregnant. On the off chance that you're not pregnant, then we should. Wow, I can't really accept that. Cheers supports. It's too soon, me. I just drank it after 3 p.m. Better believe it, you're pregnant, you are pregnant. Well, the pregnancy was certainly a high gamble, and Mariah at last experienced a premature delivery several months after the fact. She had to declare it, which was the reason she needed to keep the relationship hidden in any case. Mariah was exceptionally angry with Ellen's activities, and in a meeting she said, "I was very awkward with that second is all I can say. And I truly struggle with wrestling with the repercussions. I wasn't prepared to tell anybody since I had had an unsuccessful labor. I would rather not toss anybody, that is, as of now being tossed under a so-called buzz, yet I didn't partake at that point yet. Aside from the stuff about her being mean, there are likewise more serious things, like the homicide of her ex and D's secretive demise. Definitely, things were insane for those of you who don't know. Ann H. was an entertainer who dated Ellen back in the late 90s. Their relationship created all in all a ruckus at the time, as they were viewed as the world's most memorable high-profile gay couple. It was no joking matter in those days, thinking about how a limited number of individuals in Hollywood were extremely out and pleased. Now, quick forward to a stunning second on Anne Ha's web recording in 2021. She dropped a sensation, guaranteeing that Ellen had attempted to have her standardized and boycotted in Hollywood. It's a move we've seen before in the business, with eminent figures like Brittany Lance's and even Kanye West almost fact something almost identical, yet here's where things required a dull go. A year after Anne spilled her reality on her digital broadcast, she unfortunately died in a cracked fender bender. At first, reports pointed fingers, proposing that she was disabled and acting sporadically, yet there's a curve here. The last post-mortem uncovered an alternate story. Sure, there were a few surprising substances in her framework, yet they didn't debilitate her, causing a stir and leaving us considering what truly went down. However, at that point, there's the Jerks case and his unfavorable passing, thinking back. Subscribe Celeb Hut for more videos.